Hello, we're live. How's it going? It is the latest late challenge. It is late challenge number 88. This is free late challenge number 88. I'm Gareth Roberts. He's Paul Cope. It's the usual script. Hope you're all good and hope you're all enjoying looking at a league table with Liverpool on top of it. Before we get into all the usual stuff, which is talking about Liverpool, which is talking about Slot, which is talking about how hard has this been so far and how hard is it going to get, I just wanted to say first off a big thanks for all the support we've had from both of us since we started this whole thing. So February 2023, we kicked it all off. The show was born following a pie and a brew at the legendary Home Baked in Anfield. And 20 months on, we're still going, we're still nattering away, we're still arguing with people on the internet if you're me. And that is all because of you. That is because of you watching, listening, subscribing to the extra shows on Patreon, chipping in via YouTube, Super Chats, going on the Buy Me a Coffee site and doing that. And just telling other people as well. Loads of you have told other people have started watching and listening and getting onto it. That's great. That's what we need. And clicking that little subscribe button on YouTube, that's helped as well. That's free to do. That helps us. We've got 10.3 thousand or whatever now, which is good. Is that a thing? 10.3 thousand? I don't even know what that means. I'm very tired. 10,300 is what I meant. But that's good.
That works though. 10.3 thousand does work.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go then. And yeah, so if you can do any of those things and get involved in any of those things, thank you. Please do. And the latest Buy Me a Coffee was nice. It was from someone called Stav, who's in London. He bought us 10 coffees, which amounts to about $50, which amounts to about 38 quid. So that's very generous, I would say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
And the message he left, or she left, was, we'll always support you guys. And it was as simple as that. I like that.
Very nice.
And I'd just like to say, look, there are times for all of us, both of us, you out there, us in here, whatever, where you're like, I could probably be doing things a little bit better than I actually am, but I'm trying my best. I feel as though that's where I am right now. So persevere with me, please. If I might say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, fall asleep at the mic, whatever. It's all a bit wild in my life right now.
When you were running late, I was going to message you saying, do you want me to just start?
You could have done.
We'll just get
See
going.
if anyone notices.
I think we do that from now on. No, not that. Just like from now on, whoever gets here, just get going.
Start, yeah. Just talk to the people in the comments and then just walk on.
As you started, I actually thought, I've been debating whether to go for a wee. And just before we started, I was like, I should go for a wee. And then I was like, I can't go now. I've been sitting here for half an hour. That's typical, isn't it? And then I thought, but we'll get to a point with this show where it's just like people watching us having a chat. I'll just go and have a wee, come back. You just hold the fort for a minute.
I mean, we've got loads of comments, which is really nice already. We like the one we got before we'd even started from Top of the Pops Redubbed, who let us know that he'll watch this later because dinner's on the go. Well, I hope it's a nice dinner, and thanks for letting us know. We also had someone from Indiana saying good afternoon to y'all. Hello. Hope you're okay. Lots of people mentioning this city case thing. It's only sort of really broken as I've been driving in or just before, and it seems to be massively like two sides putting PR out on both sides saying we won, no we won, no we won, no we won. Either way, it doesn't particularly seem great for football, full stop, that everyone's arguing with each other and trying to make up rules and break rules and all the rest of it. But it is what it is. We'll try and get our heads around that a little bit later on, maybe in the subscriber show. Loads of stuff to get into before all that anyway. Someone else is watching while cooking dinner, and they said they can do two things at the same time. So go you to hear Iqbal. Well done. Right, so okay, agenda. I'll stop being mad now. Oh, hello from Crosby. Enjoying the new 5G by Marine. Tinfoil hats aren't happy, says Calgon. I was aware of that, by the way. I don't live that far from Marine. And obviously I love the mighty Mariners. They won at the weekend. And yeah, there's a kick-off about a 5G mast, apparently.
How is that?
I haven't got involved in it either way, but I haven't noticed a big improvement in my service. But maybe I will if I gravitate a little bit closer to the mighty Rossett Park. I'll let you know. To be updated on that one.
You might also grow a third ball though.
Yeah, or like my head might explode, or my thoughts might disappear, or You know what? The other day I
All
was
of the above.
driving, and I was driving through Thornton, and it was really clear skies. And I thought, this is nice, isn't it? Like, it's been grey for ages. It's just nice that we've got a nice blue sky, sunshine, and all that. And as I was looking up as I was driving, there was about 6 planes genuinely in the sky in slightly different places. And I thought, you don't normally see that much all up there at the same time, do you? It's like, ooh, is that what?
Did you see one of our top subscribers, Craig, message last week saying, "Defo talk about Bill Gates next week, Kobe." We've got all that to cut. We need to get back into all that.
I know we did all
and to
that
be honest,
before.
I don't think it's that long till footy falls apart completely. So we'll have to talk about other stuff.
Maybe that's where maybe that will be our niche as we carry on doing this, when footy falls apart and it's just boring and it's only if you're controlled by a state that you can do on it. And maybe we'll just talk about conspiracy theories every week. Who knows? We'll talk about something, that's for sure.
There was, honestly, I was thinking of putting it on my agenda last week. I saw Joe Rogan talking about the moon landings. This is for another day. And he just showed some footage, like, as he was talking about it. And I've said this in the past, Joe, just from clips I've watched, but I've never, like, delved into it properly. And Joe, if you watch it, it is just, like, laughable. Like, it's laughable. That you're like, come on. Like, forget anything else, right? Forget anything else. Just look at the footage. And Joe, because you don't watch it, do you?
No.
When do you ever go back and look at it?
Up right now.
And you think, but when people first watched it, they were watching it on black and white tellies at the end of the tiny tellies. So what, back then it would have been like, oh my God. And he said himself like he had something to do with it. He said they wouldn't have thought back then that 50 years later, whatever it was, we'd be able to just analyse everything in detail. But when you're watching it back, you're like, it looks like something kids have made.
Is he saying no one's been up there?
It looks like CBBC or something. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
There you go. Well, David Gray says he loves conspiracies, and Kopi straight in with no one's ever been on the moon. I didn't know we'd be there.
I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say no one's ever been.
Just they haven't.
I'm just saying that one wasn't.
That one wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, look, what am I actually saying? What I'm actually saying is the footage of them on the moon.
Yeah, I was just about to say
looks
this.
A bit mad.
So they could have gone, and then they're like, we need to put something out. Oh shit, forgot the camera.
That's it.
Yeah. Lad, get in here.
Because that could have happened.
That looks sharp, doesn't it?
That. Was the SD card in? Fuck. Did you have the SD card? No, Buzz. Thought you fucking had it. Whose job was it to bring the SD card back?
Look, people are watching a spoon go to the moon. Follow Mr. Spoon Button Moon. If that can work, this can work. Anyway, what are we talking about? I have absolutely no idea. There was other little thanks I wanted to say. So I was only up to Stav his 10 coffees, or her 10 coffees. I just wanted to say as well, if you're watching, thanks, Matt. Thanks, Matt. That's a joke that only Matt will get, but if he's watching, I'm sure he enjoyed it. Anyway, okay, so the Reds are top of the league.
That's what we should start doing. Jokes for one person at a time.
Yeah.
Send us in what joke you would like to do for you, and we will do you a personalised
We'll go through.
Joke.
Yeah. Jay Federer has already jumped straight in there with it. What's funny about the Optistat of Liverpool having the easiest games is that it's based on previous results against previous teams. You played United. Oh, sorry. He's already come up before going on about this easy fixture listing. We're going to get onto that because obviously there's weird people on the internet. Like, I can't remember the lad's name, but he's weird, and probably loads of people know who I mean. He's an Arsenal fan. Throws out there as though like we don't know that it's been like a relatively easy fixture list, even though our own manager is saying virtually every time he does a press conference, I'm not going to get too carried away. It's been quite an easy fixture list. So guess what, mate? You're not fucking breaking through any wall by putting that on Twitter, are you? But people still bite, including me. Here I am. Anyway, the Reds are top of the league, and it looks lovely. Look, I've got it in front of me here right now. If you can't see the Premier League yourself right now, I do suggest you go and look at it. It's like a sunshiny day when your feet are dipped into the ocean. The Reds are right there, 18 points, 7 Premier League games played, 6 wins, no draws, 1 defeat, 13 goals scored, 2 conceded, goal difference of 11, and we're 1 better off than Man City and Arsenal, who are both on 17, and then Chelsea are in 4th on 14. And adding to my general enjoyment of life in terms of football and the Premier League table, Manchester United are 14th with 8 points, and Everton are 16th with 5. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just
nice,
that, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But as ever, there is a voice of doom, and there's a voice of doom from somewhere. And I read a report this morning, and I thought that quite nicely sums it up. So I'll read out the start of his report, because the thing is for Lewis Steele that he's got a nice job, like reporting on the Reds and all that. But unfortunately, it's for the Mail, so probably no one reads it. So here you go, Lewis, giving you a little bit of help. Here's the thing he's crafted and put in the Mail today. It says, every conversation in praise of Arne Slot and Liverpool so far this season comes with an asterisk, a small, annoying but plaguing every argument put forward. Liverpool have won 9 of 10 games so far in the Slot era. They've scored 23 goals and conceded a meagre 4, keeping a clean sheet in 5 of 7 league fixtures. But as the argument goes, they've not played anyone half decent yet. And that's true. They've only faced teams 9th or lower in the Premier League, 3 of them making up the current bottom 4, plus a below par AC Milan and Bologna in the Champions League. So that narrative is absolutely everywhere, including from our own manager. And then add on top that Alisson got injured and taken off and it doesn't look good, and the manager's saying he's going to be out for a while, and the forlorn thumbs up from Alisson as he walked out to Selhurst Park didn't really sort of tell a different story. And it all felt like everyone was quite down, do you know what I mean? And I was like, hang on, though, we did win. We did win. We did go to Selhurst Park on a 12:30 kickoff after playing in the Champions League midweek and win. We are top of the league. We've got a break now, another international break, and there's another one next month. But, so we're all going to mourn the fact that there's no actual good football for us to watch. But it's still nice to just look at that league and go, there's the Reds right at the top. How are you feeling about it? Like all of that, what I've said in mind, really. Are you feeling good, bad? Like, what did the Alisson thing take the shine off? Or are you like, nah, we won on the top, the Reds?
Well, let's start with that last point and come back. Our first choice keeper got injured. I was just checking here to see what minute he went off in. He went off in the 79th minute. There was quite a big chunk of stoppage time, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So we played something like between 15 and 20 minutes away at Selhurst Park with our third choice goalie.
Did all right, didn't he?
He did all right.
Yeah.
We did all right. We won. And I was thinking, with 20 minutes left, I was thinking something we've talked about in the past, and I've thought about a lot in the past. It's all right to win 1-0,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I honestly wanted to get that message onto the pitch. Like, lads, it's okay to win games of footy 1-0. I think that's something we've just all, for as much as we loved the Klopp era, I think it's just something we've forgotten about, that it is okay. It's just okay to win a game of footy 1-0, especially a tricky away game, especially one where McAllister's gone off at half time, your third choice goalie's in goal. It's like, well,
did you do that thing with like a lot of my mates that, where's fucking Kelleher?
Yeah.
What? Where's Kelleher?
Yeah.
And then he comes on and rocks it.
Yeah.
And then, did you see his interview afterwards as well? Seems sound.
Boss.
A few people saying they think they can hear a bit of Scouse going on in his accent.
Well, Slot even referenced it, didn't he? That like your third choice goalie can come on and have an impact. He did well, didn't he? He did a couple of things really well.
Yeah.
So all that, boss. And the thing about, it's funny this early in the season. It's easy to say we've only faced teams 9th or lower in the Premier League, but at this point, by us beating them, we've contributed them being at that level in the league, haven't we? That forms part of where they are. Like, it's early in the season, so by the end of the season, I would bet Wolves won't be bottom of the league. I'd be willing to have that bet. They're better than...
Probably won't have that manager either.
Yeah, true. Same with Palace. Like, Palace away is a tricky away game. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's creaming themselves over Aston Villa still. Aston Villa drew away at Ipswich a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
City struggled to beat Fulham at the weekend. What was tight, at least. So, I hate this whole... Someone tweeted us as well, actually. I can't remember who it was, but... So, again, a one-person comment for whoever's listening, who said this to us. I think it was on Twitter. Like, how often in the past have these been the teams that we fuck up against?
Exactly.
So
That's
what?
my
So why?
thing.
So
Like,
why
it
are we
doesn't
all
really
of a sudden
matter. But
dismissing
he's
it?
a horse. Like, you can only play what the fixture list throws up, and to win 9 out of 10. Well, you're doing all right
Well, I love the way-
in anyone's book, surely.
Lewis Steele is. I mean, we're even dismissing AC Milan at the San
I know,
Siro
yeah.
now.
When you've
are
gone
we?
one down as well. And look, you look at all of their. If you look at all of their results this season, they're not. They don't say that they're great, but they did beat Inter.
Exactly.
So,
Who got a draw against City?
So they're capable.
So
and when you're 1-0 down, and then you come back and win in, one of the Europe's most famous stadiums against one of Europe's most famous clubs, albeit that they're not at the greatest time, it's still a good result. Same as going to Man United. We've been buzzing off them all last week. We'll probably buzz off them again this week. But last season, we didn't beat them in 3 games. We drew twice with them in the league and we got knocked out the FA Cup by them. And they were shite then. And they might be shite now, but to go to Old Trafford and convincingly win is a good thing.
yeah, but that's the point, isn't it? So think about that, like the way people are spinning this. I mean, I'd even forgotten that until I was looking at the table, and then you mentioned it. So we've won at Old Trafford and we've won at the San Siro in our opening 9 games. In what seasons are we dismissing them? Like last season, we were joking about going to Old Trafford and we drew 1 and got beaten 1 towards the end of the season. So going to Old Trafford and winning is not a laughing matter, is it? Like, it's not just, oh, well, that's just their shite.
And Palace, okay, it's 10 years now since we've been beaten at Palace away. And you know what I'm like about this? I like to point out that they're not a fucking bogey team. And can we all stop saying it? But nevertheless, when it's 12:30 kick-off, we know that there have been issues with that before. We know that we played in the Champions League and they didn't and all that kind of stuff. When you see that he's rotated 4 players as well, like, and all on one, all one side of the team essentially is players coming in. There's a bit of you going, how's that going to look? What's that going to be like? Tsimikas, how's he going to get on? He did well. He played well. He plays that ball to Gakpo. He was another one who come in. Gakpo centres it, and then the other fella, I can't think of his name, Jota. Jota's there to score it, and he should have had an hat-trick and all that, and blah, blah, blah. And okay, there's a bit too much pressure on us second half. And Fletch is obsessed with the fact that we should have given a penalty away for a little tiny tug that no one else was asked about. But Fletch has got to bang the drum, because Fletcher's job is to create controversy. And Fletch and the internet must now tell us that there was nothing positive for Liverpool because there should have been a penalty for Crystal Palace because there was a small tug in the area. Like, fuck off with that.
Joe, for once, I very rarely defend very rarely defend the referee in establishment.
Are you going to defend Fletch?
No. But what you said's absolutely right. That's what he's there to do, isn't it? But even, Joe, they read out the statement from I don't know whether it was the PGMOL or whatever it is, during the game, because they commented on it straight away, basically saying, they said 2 things. It was like, I can't remember the exact phrase. They kept banging.
Never had hold of them for long enough, essentially.
Basically, didn't have hold of them for long enough. But then the next bit, they just completely ignored and didn't mention it didn't impact the play. No. And by it didn't impact the play, what they meant was the ball was going to the goalie anyway.
He wouldn't have got it.
That lad.
It's not like a goal scoring opportunity.
No,
is it?
like if Virgil van Dijk, instead of holding his hand, had to fucking give him a boost up, he still wouldn't have beaten Alisson to it. So
it just does me head in that, let's find some reason to to put a damper on absolutely everything. No, we're top of the league, lads, and it's sound if we all say, yeah, but what about this, that, and the other? But when you've done the context, if you don't arrive at enjoying it, bollocks to that. 9 out of 10, new manager, clean sheets everywhere. The manager being dead honest all the time and saying, yeah, we need to improve on that. Yeah, we need to improve on that. Yeah, we can get better at that. Okay, well, what happens when we do? We'll be better then, won't we? And we'll be, and maybe we'll be ready to take on these, the tough fixture list and the harder games and the bigger sides and all that kind of stuff. I just don't get, it shouldn't override that we are where we are and we have done what we've done. And just to put that into context, to use that word again, it's literally the best an LFC manager has ever started. So how about that? That's all right, isn't it? Again, something to be celebrated, no matter who the opposition is. And Slot stitched the slip-ons as well, which is another thing to get excited about. I didn't know. I think someone's had a word, haven't they? It's either that or one of my mates did say maybe he's gone, maybe he hasn't ditched them, and it's just simply that he's moved to, autumn, winter in his wardrobe, and that, when we're lifting silverware in May, they'll come back out.
I hope they are.
I hope they're not. Come on, Arne. You can do better than them slip-ons, lad. Come on. Michael Reed, that was it. Michael Reed tweeted over the weekend, Liverpool have won 9 out of 10 of their first... I'll start again. Liverpool have won 9 of their first 10 games of a season in all comps for only the third time ever after 1961-62 and 1990-91. So again, not bad, is it? I also, I said this on something else over the weekend. We've seen clubs struggle in this very same situation. So, hello, Manchester United. So a major figure leaves, a new man steps in, and it all turns to shit very quickly. And okay, you can say that Slot's inherited a decent squad, and I think he has. But also, we all recognise that there was holes in it, and we all, there was people going absolutely mad, raging, eyes bulging, demanding transfers. So that suggested that they thought it could be improved on. And and so can we start saying he's done a good job? Yeah, I'm happy to say he's done a good job here. Do you know what I mean? And okay, it's tough the other side of the international break, but it's still sound. Let's say it's sound. And to go back to that point about we weren't shite anyway. Finished third in the Premier League last season, won the League Cup. Mo Salah scored 25 goals. It wasn't shite. But equally, like Arne's saying, before and after every game, there's stuff to improve on. So last season, we drew too many games. Last season, we conceded too many goals. And we only finished 9 points off the champions. And all of that in a season when Jurgen Klopp says in January, by the way, lads, I'm getting off. And everyone goes, what? And so there's an effect around that. But also, he's looking back at that definitely, because he said in his pre-match this week, or the week just gone, we dropped too many points away. We dropped 10 away. And if we hadn't dropped 10, we're champions, aren't we? So he's on it. And there's another away win in the bag the Saturday just gone. Another reason to be happy. Another reason to be positive. And also, in a really long-winded way, to come back to what you said before about where we did drop some points last time around. So we dropped points against teams we should have been beaten. So we should have beaten Man United twice, but we didn't. We drew. We should have beat them in the FA Cup, but we didn't. We went out. We should have beat Fulham. We should have beat Palace. We should have beat Everton. We should have beat West Ham. We dropped points against all of those teams. So if now we're playing teams that everyone goes, you should be beating them, and we are beating them, this is de facto a good thing.
100%. And I just wanted to double check this then before I said something again, and that was completely wrong. But remember United. So one of the reasons Slot keeps referencing that he's been able to start this really well is he took over a team that was already pretty good, and that team finished where in the league? Third. Yeah. So he took over the third best team in the league. And he's managed to transition it by making no signings, pretty much.
Well, one that was not a transformational one, is it?
Yeah, well, he's hardly played,
we'll have him.
And we've got him.
Yeah.
But he's had no impact on our season so far. And another lad we bought for next year. So he's taken a team that finished third, and we've started like this, and we're top of the league, and he's crediting the old regime for doing a good job there. Manchester United, that we like to keep referencing, when they started their transitional period from their manager, the legendary manager, to the next manager, where did the team finish that their next manager took over? Remember?
No.
Top. He won the league.
Who?
Ferguson.
Oh, sorry. I thought you're going all the way back to there.
Yeah.
I was thinking who Ten Hag took over from.
But that's like, so go back to the biggest one.
Yeah.
He won the league.
Yeah.
But when it all started falling apart, no one was going, but hang on, he left the league winning team there. Everyone started going, yeah, but you know, there was cracks in that, weren't there? And maybe.
Well,
And,
we did that though, didn't we? About Kenny, like, you know, we
Of
all
course.
when Sooners took over, aging though, wasn't it, and all that.
But
But then
that's-
at the same time, you're going, yeah, but
Hang
could
on.
have kept all the beards, you know. couldn't they?
Exactly. So, if Kenny had stayed in charge, would that team have been better than just falling apart? Yes, it would have done. If Ferguson had stayed in charge of United, would that team have all of a sudden become shit? No, it wouldn't have done. Why? Because the manager was fucking boss for Ferguson. The manager, Dalglish, was boss. What happened? You appointed the wrong fella, pretty much. What happened after Wenger? They appointed the wrong fella at the wrong time. They did the transition badly. What have we done? We've appointed the right fella. We've done the transition well. Early signs would say.
Yeah.
So fuck the putting it down. Just
Exactly.
fucking celebrate it.
Exactly.
We've done it. We've done such a fucking good job.
That's what I'm here for.
And yeah, let's see where we are in 10 games. But this is the funny thing, isn't it? Do you know when they're all like, yeah, well, let's see what's like when you get to play Chelsea. I'm like, yeah, okay.
All right then.
What? I'm not worried about playing Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'm happy we're playing Chelsea soon. I'm happy we're playing City. I'm
Not to
happy
be
we're playing
scared.
Arsenal.
Well, there's not. We said it last week, didn't we? There's not to be scared of, is there? I'm not watching any of those sides currently and thinking, oh, well, they're on another planet, because they're not.
Well,
City are conceding goals left, right, and centre. Don't look the side that we thought, you know, they would do with Rodri there, which is exactly what everyone said. Fulham, you know, had a good go at them. Fulham are a good side, by the way. I think they play some nice stuff, but nevertheless, you know, they've had a go at them. If the fella would, you know, if the fella who greases himself up and all that and runs dead fast could actually finish, they could have got beat there. But unfortunately, you know, he can't. So he missed 3 absolute sitters instead. But Ian Matthews, by the way, just a shout out to his comment, which made me laugh while you were talking there. He said, Arne will have sliders on in May, and then he also said he can wear slippers if he wants it for top at Christmas.
100%.
I mean, they were good enough for Paisley. Slippers.
There we go.
He knocked round in slippers drinking tea, didn't he?
Yeah,
So
why not?
Why not, indeed. What else have we got? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know where I am at today.
Well, while you're doing that, they're just the last bit of my little
Go on.
rant to follow your one up. In our entire history of, and this comes to your point in the person who tweeted us in the week about, in our lifetimes, it's always the shittier teams we've struggled against. In our entire history of watching Liverpool, when have we ever done worse against the bigger clubs? We always do better against the big clubs. We always step up. There's always a better atmosphere.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, you fancy us.
I fancy us to play City. Why did we struggle against Forest? Classic, sitting behind the ball. Joe couldn't break them down. Well, I'm happy to play City. I'm happy to play Chelsea. I'm happy to play Arsenal.
Like, I'm not being funny. Like, it could have easily just been a draw, couldn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's a nice goal from them. You said at the time we weren't sure about Alisson and all that. I just think it's a nice goal. It's a nice ball. It's a nice finish. They didn't particularly deserve it, did
Forest.
they? Like, yeah.
No,
We were
exactly.
shit. We were kicking it into the stands instead of to each other. Do you know what I mean? It was as simple as that. Like, so I hardly think it's like indicative of something. We'll be sound. We'll give Chelsea a game and probably beat them.
100%.
But yeah, where are we up to then? What was I going to talk about? 12:30, yeah, just to touch on that. I thought it was funny at the weekend in that I just thought we've seen, like, Slot strikes me as an intelligent man, and he's obviously thought a lot about how he wants to come across, what he wants to say, what he wants to do, how he deals with the press. We've said over and over, haven't we, that, you know, it feels like he's very aware of where his words go, what they could potentially create. Seems to be having a lovely little chat with Mo Stewart every week, if you got onto that.
Oh, no.
Because Mo's in the press conferences now. And like Mo tries to ask like a slightly left field, you know, more intelligent comment than perhaps you get from some journalists. Every offence meant. And they seem to be having like a nice little sort of mini bromance.
Oh, nice.
And so what I'm saying is he's been very calm, very considered, hasn't he? Even over the half-12s, he no doubt knew what a thing that was with the previous manager. You know, the manager arguing with fucking Des Kelly live on air or whatever and all the rest of it. And he was just like, yeah, well, you know, we train at 12, so if there's a problem about playing at that time, I'm an idiot type of thing. But then he threw it in afterwards.
Yeah.
Like when he's in the heat of the emotion.
You messaging me on WhatsApp,
Yeah.
go, we celebrate. Fucking, you called that Kobe, and then it was like, you've let us all down now, aren't it?
But I quite liked it though, you know, I don't mind seeing, you know, that, because by and large what I've just said about him is him, isn't it? But equally, I don't mind that he like loses his shit a little bit here and there, because the referee, as an example, was mad. You know, like we've got nearly 80% possession at one point of the game there, and he's given them free kicks for absolutely everything. And I think they've had like 10, and we've had 2. And you're like, this doesn't seem balanced and fair, to be honest with you. And you're seeing Arne losing his shit on the sides, and you're like,
that, didn't you?
Is right. Is right. And then also as well, he comes out afterwards and had a little pop about playing on half 12 after a midweek. And so you kind of think, don't you, like, oh, welcome to the actual realities of this now, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can be calm and cool and collected and all the rest of it, but there will be stuff about this place that will drive you up the wall, because it drives everyone else up the wall. Like the refs are mad, the officials are mad, VAR's mad, telly companies are mad, the media's mad. Do you know what I mean? Even that, I believe he's referenced that somewhere along the line now as well, about doing a lot of interviews.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but there was an interview with, I think it was Virgil, where he said, you know, he has lost his rag a little bit, you know, in team meetings and things like that. He said not all the time or anything, but he's just sprinkled a little bit of rage in here and there. And I'm like, yeah,
they all have that, don't they? They all.
I'm into it. I'm absolutely into it. Nice one to Paul Fitzsimons, big friend of the show. He's thrown a fiver in the super hugs, and he says, have a beer on me. Slot doing a boss job. Bollocks to the haters and up the Reds.
Yeah.
Every one of those sentiments is absolutely brilliant, mate. Hope you're well, and hope we can still get you in for the 100th show. Polo Mint says, Des Kelly, lol. I'll go further. Des Kelly, knobhead. Absolute blur, that fella. I had a Twitter interaction with him back in the day when he'd written some absolute shite for the Mail at the time, and he used the word what's the fucking word? You know when everyone always goes on about Scousers being robbers and all this bollocks that they come out with, all the stereotypes. What's the thing they always say about cars that we rob that no one calls
Hubcaps.
That's the one. Hubcaps. Hubcaps only ever used in the context of Scousers robbing them.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone ever who's ever called it a hubcap or B fucking robbed one. And it's like, and that tool, that bellend with his shit hair, wrote in the Mail like some wank piece, and then he mentioned Scousers and hubcaps. And so I tweeted them and said, yeah, well in with the stereotypes there, like the tired old shit, blah, blah, blah. You know, I had a proper pop at him. And he come back, and we had a little set too. Like, and I've tried to find, it was years ago, so I can't find it now. But he's an absolute blade. Des Kelly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Helmet. So, I
trying to be, do you know what I didn't like about him? Like, always trying to be everyone's best mate in his interviews.
Cringe, innit?
Oh, I go, fuck off.
Yeah, they're
not your mate.
No.
Do you know why they're talking to you, Des? Do you know why they're talking to you? Because they have to.
Yeah.
They're contractually obliged to talk to you. They're not your friend.
Yeah. Right, where are we up to? Okay. Yeah, we were talking about R12s. So R12s is another reason anyway. And a mad ref giving them everything is another reason. I'm looking for every reason to say beating Palace away on Saturday at R12 to go top of the league was great, and we should be celebrating it a bit more than we are doing, and we should be saying this is all good, we're flying, it's time to get on board, it's time to bring some momentum to Anfield, it's time to bring your voices, it's time to bring your flags and your banners, because we're on the fucking march. I don't care. Like, I did something for the LFC TV, and like I said similar to what I'm saying now. And it was a bit like, they were like, oh yeah, a bit early for that kind of stuff. And I'm like, why? Who says? Why? We're only in this for fun, aren't we, ultimately? It's not dead serious. Nothing happens if you have the fun. We could do an hour on
that, like the philosophy of football. It's like, why? I don't think that is why most people are in it. It can't be. It can't be. Because that's the main reason. That's what you and I agree on definitely on this. Loads of us in the past have chatted about this, like, but most other people, even LFC TV's reaction, whoever it was who said it to you, oh, we can't get to it. Why? Why can't we get excited now? We loved it when Postecoglou said it, didn't we?
But you know what it is?
Get carried away.
It's back to that. I wrote a piece like very early days at the Wrap. And a lot of people said they really liked it, and I get the odd reference to it even now. It was, the title of the piece was Who's Arsed? And just apply that to everything that is stopping you from letting yourself go. Because it was like, oh yeah, but like, you know, if you say like, you know, you think we could win something this season and you don't, like you'll have fans who'll come back and say, so what? Who's asked? Who were they?
Yeah.
Like it's someone I've never met.
Yeah.
A little drawing of them on an internet page. Give a fuck. I'm more into right now going, do you know what? I didn't expect this. And when you didn't expect it and then it's that good, is right.
Yeah.
And like, you know, we've got to wait now for the game, which is dead annoying. But when that game comes around, get me in there. Do you know what I mean? It's right. Let's see us take on Chelsea. Let's get stuck into them. Let's burst their bubble. There's people now saying Robbie Savage the other day. Oh, they should be considered as being in the title race. Chelsea.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, let's put the end to that talk by tonking them at Anfield, and that one's gone and done. And then
look,
on to the next one.
Same on that. Sound. Do you know if I'm a Chelsea fan at this stage of the season?
Oh, you'd be enjoying it. Yeah.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Everyone said we were shit. Everyone said we were basket cases. This fella's a knobhead. Why did we sack him and we've got him? Well, it started all right, hasn't it? You're like, yeah, good for you. Fucking enjoy it. And then we'll beat you. Shut the fuck up. But that's what this is about. That's the game, isn't it? That's the whole point. It goes back to that, you know, talk about things that people reference, the Flat Earthers show I did on the rap that time years ago, and people still talk about. That's basically what the theme of that was. This is a fucking entertainment product.
Yeah.
We're meant to be having fun watching it.
And so
if you can't have fun when you've won 9 out of 10 games and you're top of the league and you can't enjoy it then, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. And also, by the way, I also saw the other chestnut because, you know, the thing I quite like about this show is we do talk about footy, obviously, but, you know, I don't think we're massively into, like, over-analysing every single game, as you might have noticed. I quite like just talking about, like, how footy and life come together and what it's like to experience it. Maybe that's a way of explaining it a bit more. But what I saw, and I thought, oh, fuck off, is... You know, so Slot did then talk about 12:30s and did bemoan them post-match after being cool about them beforehand. And that's what you said about our exchange, where I was like, beforehand, I'm like, oh, he's done what you said and just like not even got into it with anyone. And then after it, he references it. But Andrew Beasley, our mate, bass tune to Red, great fella, go and check out his stuff and all that. He put out a tweet saying, when Liverpool play tomorrow, so this was obviously before the game, when Liverpool play tomorrow, they will have played more league games at 12:30, 28, than at 3 o'clock, 27, since the start of 2019-20. And then there was another stat, which I wonder if I can find it. Is it going to come up? There was another one anyway about us playing loads of games in that slot. See what I did there? And so my point was going to be, Klopp had a point all along anyway. And it's like, you know, like it's like this thing, oh, well, don't want to go there again. Why? Because he was right. But it just turned into like a bit of, remember that time that fella, I can't remember his name, it wasn't Des Kelly, it was someone else. But like he tried to throw it in as a joke. And Jürgen just took his head off. But I mean, it always will be, and it remains daft that, you know, there isn't a level of fairness around how that's allocated. Because just going, Liverpool are big, and Liverpool are well liked and loved around the world, therefore we want them on the telly. That's not good enough, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I tell you how it becomes good enough and fair. Give us more of the TV money then.
Yeah.
If because it goes back to the other bigger argument, doesn't it? If we're such a big draw for the TV companies that we have to be on that 12:30 kickoff slot significantly more than anybody else, it's only fair we get more of the money. If you want to go down that route, I mean, I'd rather make it fair and not have the 12:30 kickoff. I was going to say to you though, Joe, before we got into the game and he'd made some changes in that, I was there going, because he's got a history of Feyenoord of really good, Joe, injury prevention, and I'm watching this thinking, he's not rotating much though, is he? So has he got some secret? I was trying to figure it out, like, what's his secret? And it almost comforted, I know this is a mad thing to say, but almost comforted me a bit that we got 2 injuries and he lost his head afterwards. So I'm like, oh no, he's just not used to the Premier League yet. Because whatever he's done in the past, he's done in the context of playing in Dutch football and European football, not playing, and with the Dutch league and how they look after you, not playing in this league with the fucking batshit crazy rules about when you play, playing Liverpool, playing as Liverpool manager, and then playing in the Champions League.
It all started with its own form, won't it? I mean, I'm sure
that's what Saturday after the game was, wasn't it?
You know,
this is the reality of it.
He will have known. He will have been briefed. He will have watched from afar. He will have, took it in more closely once he knew he was taking the role. All of that. But all of that's different to when it's actually happening. When your players have been to South America and they're only getting late back Thursday or whatever it is, and then they're playing again and they're like obviously jaded, blown for tugs, big red cheeks, picking up injuries, whatever it might be. And then you're like, oh, is this... Because we had it with Jurgen, didn't we? Like he said a few things earlier about this is mad the way you do that and this is mad the way you do that. But then it really started to ramp up, didn't it? As the season went on. I think it was... Did we play like Exeter on a Friday night or something? And he's like in some like bog or something, getting interviewed afterwards, going like, "What?
This is a dream you had."
No, this happened, didn't it? I'm sure, and he was like, whoever it was and whenever it was, anyway, he was in some crap room at a small club away in the FA Cup, basically going, "What? Why are we playing this now? This is mad.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, not what's going on here and playing this club. What's going on here? We're playing it now." When people haven't even had time to get out of work and come down here and watch it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think slowly but surely he was like, this is wild. And obviously he tried to be like, Prime Minister of football and have an opinion about it all. And then everyone decided he was a moaning bastard. Whereas, the new manager's just not arsed with all that and wants to crack on with winning the league, which is sad. We do need to talk about, where are we on time-wise here? Done about 45, I think. We do need to talk about what is coming up, this run of games that is next on the agenda for Liverpool. So Sunday, 20th of October is the next game, home to Chelsea, as we mentioned. That is followed on the Wednesday by Leipzig away, and then followed on the Sunday by Arsenal away. We've then got Brighton away in the League Cup. We then got Brighton at home in the league. Leverkusen at home in the league, Aston Villa at home. Leverkusen at home in the Champions League, Aston Villa at home in the league, then away to Southampton, home to Real Madrid, home to Man City, and then we're into December by this point. But that is some run, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like it's quite funny because it's almost like some of that stuff that we just criticised there and sat there and done half the show on about, like, Kennel lads, basically, some of the stuff that's being written and the constant like, oh my God, you haven't played anyone and all that. Well, I tell you what, if we emerge from that run and we're winning everything, there will be no one questioning credentials after that, will there?
No, but you know what? I was just thinking, and I thought this last week, that what will come up next is, and this is the bigger thing for me. Think about what our second half of the season fixtures are going to be like, because we'll have played Chelsea at home, Brighton at home, City at home, and Villa at home, which means we've got to go away to all of those teams in the second half of the season. But the flip side of that is, there's no bad thing that we're starting to get into gear playing against the teams that we used to struggle to beat away from home, and we're getting results. Because then we go into that second half of the season going, all right, bring it on. Yeah. But this is the thing, isn't it? We'll see. I'm quite happy to live my life more in the present moment these days. What's it like now? Sound. Okay. We don't need to project into the future and imagine it's going to be shit in 10 weeks. If it's shit in 10 weeks, it'll be shit in 10 weeks. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's all right. In the meantime, sound, innit? We did play Exeter. I don't know why you were making me doubt my adult mind.
So I am gaslighting you there because I don't remember.
Exeter City 2, Liverpool 2. Friday the 8th of January 2016, and yeah, it was a 5 to 8 kickoff on a Friday night, and the starting lineup that day, just for the lols: Adam Bogdan in goal, Enrique Alori, Brad Smith, Connor Randall, Cameron Brannigan, Kevin Stewart, Ryan Kent, Teixeira.
Kevin Stewart, do you remember it? Remember him?
Teixeira, Benteke, captain, and Jerome Sinclair.
What a side. Fucking hell.
Substitutes.
Get that statue of Klopp built.
Substitutes Ryan Fulton, Joe Maguire, Connor Masterson, Adam Lallana, Lucas Leiva, Shea Ojo, and Pedro Chiravella.
Wow. Fucking hell.
How times change.
How times change, Jesus.
Yeah, that was wild, wasn't it? That was wild, just reading that out. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, we were doing the fixture list, weren't we? So, yeah, that is it. I mean, you know, there's loads in there, isn't there? Chelsea, we've already sort of discussed that, and I think we're both quite confident about that one. Leipzig away the following Wednesday's not ideal when you've got Arsenal away straight after. But what I would say about that is that's slightly kinder for us, isn't it? That we play them on the Wednesday and then we're the Sunday game. So, you know, that added bit of recovery could be handy for us. I think this is where to go back and labour the other point that we were just talking about. That's just where it's just like that common sense bit of like, well, if they've played Wednesday, don't put them on the R12 on the Saturday. Yeah. Put them on the telly if you want.
This is the thing for me though. Go back to what we
just not in that slot.
When we touched on the City stuff and like footy eating itself, we said before, but this is the bit where I'm like, if you're just running a competition and you want that competition to be fair and to have integrity, surely you have to consider those things. Surely you have to say, well, look, we need to balance this out for everyone, not just for the sides going for the league. Like, it needs to balance out for everyone. You've got to give everyone a fair amount of rest time. Because otherwise, you are jeopardising the integrity of the league. If one side has to work hard on other sides, then that's not right. That's the bit I don't really get about it. I mean, and then that's without going into all the fucking financial rules that are all backwards anyway.
Some lad really, really wants to speak about contracts and says that we not speak about contracts.
No, we're not allowed to.
You know, the club rang us, mate, and said, can you stop talking about contracts? So we're not talking about contracts.
Even us talking about your comment, talking about contracts, potentially puts us in breach of an agreement we made with John Henry.
Yeah.
Which might jeopardise the millions he pays us to stay quiet.
He dropped a bag of cash down the chimney like he always does. I'm just in the...
I like the way he does that.
Just in the throes of spending.
Do you know I asked him to do that?
Did you?
Yeah. Said it makes us feel like Santa's coming every time. Every time he does it. A bag of used... But I told him to send used fivers. And he said, why? And I said, just because we're from Liverpool, aren't we? And that's just what you say.
And we like fivers. Yeah. And it feels like loads of money.
Yeah. Feels like more money. Makes us feel richer. And, you know, people don't check fivers, really.
And we can insulate our homes with all the fivers.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
It'd be great if it was true, wouldn't it?
It would be great.
I'd love it if we were actually getting back Anderson, John Henry and used fivers.
I mean, just to be serious though, mate, you know, we've talked about it like to the nth degree it feels, and like this is not new to say, is there? I mean, there's a mad, I put it somewhere on the agenda, there's a mad link saying that, you know, like Real might randomly buy Trent in January now. I just don't see it in any way that happens, because okay, he could end up there obviously because of the situation with his contract, because of all the stuff we talked about a million times about Bellingham and fancying that club and pretty much having already achieved everything he wanted to achieve at Liverpool, whatever. I just don't see that it would happen in January in any circumstance.
Do you know, when you sent me that story, like that is, we've talked about, I was chatting to Jim and Dave here before we started recording about AI and where it's going and all that. Like that, I saw the news that Danny Carvajal got injured, and I thought, like, there will be a story at the weekend of Trent going to Madrid, because it's like AI generated.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I was going to say, transfer rumour by numbers.
Exactly. If this plus this equals this, sound, run that article. Is it about Liverpool? Sound, it'll get more clicks. Brilliant.
And I you know what I've said before, I used to work in newspapers, and it does happen that some freelancers will literally write those stories knowing that somewhere, you know, in one of the newspapers or one of the websites, there will be an editor who'll go, I haven't really got much here. And I know that's bollocks, but it looks good on the back page, so go for it. And it's what's known as a flyer. Take a bit of a flyer, put it out there. It might happen. And if it did happen, you can go, see?
Our sources are right.
Someone sent us a tweet today saying, like, you know, you look at that you look at that BBC gossip column, which I've said before is like literally one of the most popular things on the BBC website. And I get it. of course I get it, and I get the thing behind transfers, and I get that people want new shiny players and all the rest of it. But some of the stuff is just so obviously bollocks to anyone with half a brain, isn't it? And then, as this lad pointed out, he was like, what's the score with some of the people that they're like quoting now? You know, like caught offside said or whatever. And you're like, no one gives a shit what they say, let's be honest. So why are we quoting them on the BBC, which is supposed to be some kind of like decent record of things? Do you know what I mean? And I said, my only thing now would be, they should produce, and they've surely got the resource, you know, they should produce like a reliability index next to that, you know, so put them in, but say like reliability index, you know, like 20% or whatever it might be.
How many of these did he get right?
Markers, another one, isn't it? And all the rest of it. And like the dodgy ones Italy's got one as well, hasn't it? And there are sources where you see the name and you just go, well, it's bollocks, isn't it? And like, is there anyone out there who doesn't think it's bollocks? Like I say, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like, I'm sure someone somewhere will go, oh, well, FSG would want the money though, wouldn't they? You know, for Trent to go in January as opposed to nothing in the summer. Yeah, but mate, even them surely would know that that's an absolute PR disaster. It is anyway if he goes. It's the middle of the season. It's a new manager. We're doing well, as we keep saying. We could win something. No.
Yeah, but why would, look at it from the other side. How much would they give us? What are they going to give us? 20 million, 30 million when they can have them for nothing 5 months later? Is it going to make that big of a difference to their league season?
Or us, if we get 20 million
I'm sure whoever they're putting in place of Danny Carvajal for the rest of the season will be all right. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be some lad from the stands, is it?
No. I just find some of it tiring. And yeah, you know, people saying there about, you know, Virgil is obviously playing brilliantly, and you know, you'd want to get his contract sorted. Absolutely. He looks like the proper Virgil again, doesn't he? Do you remember people said we wouldn't get the proper Virgil back?
Got him back.
He's him, isn't he?
He did a couple of things at the weekend where you're like, there he is.
Yeah, so cool.
I love the bits of Virgil I like best are when it looks like a fella might run past him, and he's doing his like, you know, really. Like lethargic's the wrong word, languid, like just like laid back. Yeah. And he just goes, oh, sorry, I just need to go into third gear to beat you here. Sound. Yeah. And he just steps it up just for 3 seconds. And you can see the striker going, fuck it.
Yeah.
I was running at fucking full pelt there, lad. And he's like, I know.
I love the ones where he's just like,
faster and stronger
just bringing things down. No worries at all. And there's a fella on, just go round him. Oh, is there anything on there? Yeah, just spray a 70-yard pass now. Yeah.
Here's my prediction: Trent and Virgil will be Liverpool players next year.
But Mo won't.
And I'm 50-50 on Mo.
Okay, there you go. Well, listen, mate.
Official sort that'll be in the gossip column tomorrow.
Paul Cope, the late
PaulCope.com.
I mean, there you go, mate. We ended up talking about contracts anyway. So after taking the piss, we just had a chat about them.
There you go. I keep teaching our 6-year-old: if you don't ask, you don't get.
A shout for Cody Gakpo before we go, just to say that he created 5 chances against Crystal Palace, the most he's ever created in a Premier League game, and he provided the assist for the only goal of the game. I thought he was good in general, him, and there are times where I think he's among those that can frustrate. To be an old school Arlas Red, I think he can be a little bit of a shithouse at times in challenges. I think see Nottingham Forest goal as an example, and then he did it the following week as well. But you know, fair play. I thought he was good at the weekend, and I thought, as I said before, the other fella as well. Mad the way I can't remember anyone's name at the moment.
The other fella,
the Greek
You're
defender.
turning into Bob Paisley.
Simicast. Christ, turning into Bobby Robson.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, we are going to leave the free show now. Hopefully there was something decent in there. I couldn't even tell you what I've been saying. I'm not tired. But we've done about an hour or so there. So if you want to listen to more of this absolute quality, this is what we've got planned in the subscriber show. I've got down Everton's weird tweet I've got something about Man United. I've got transfer bullshit that makes no sense, but we've already done that now. We're going to look at this Man City thing probably, but, you know, we are a little bit on the fly in terms of that because, you know, we literally started the show as it was sort of breaking, so don't know too much about that. A few little bits that were spotted in the press as well, including a hilarious claim from a former Chancellor that he was once one of the boys for the Reds and was going around knocking people out and that. Just clearly bollocks. And
that's a wild.
It's absolutely mad, isn't it? Honest to God, I folded myself in half. I cringed that much when I saw that. And we also will be asking, saw this on Reddit and thought it was brilliant. It's an old one, you might have seen it before, but I loved it nevertheless. We're asking, what is your favourite paradox? You might know what that is. If you don't, well, come over and see. And also we got some really interesting feedback stroke question from Craig Ward. So we might read that out. It's a question for Copey. And we all know that questions for Copey can sometimes be interesting. So again, if you want to come over to the subscribe show and see that, jump on Patreon. If you're not on Patreon already, you can have a free trial. You can, once the free trial finishes, you can decide whether you want to subscribe or not. You also get access to the whole back catalogue of 76, I think it is now, subscriber shows that we've done. And they range from everything on to do with Liverpool, to do with life, to do with mental health, to do with football knobheads. God knows you've covered all kinds in there. So there's likely to be something in there that you'll like. So yeah, jump over there if you fancy it. We'll be going live on that show in about 10 minutes or so. And like I said at the top, anything you can do to spread the word or show your love for this, it is appreciated. We do notice and we do like it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. That's been the free show from the Late Challenge this week. We will be back in our usual slot next week. Up the Reds. We're top of the league. We're allowed to enjoy it.